Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV, Baba Bagede Imo TV, and on the channel for the national news in English, it is BGI TV Current on YouTube. Kindly subscribe, click on the notification bell, select option all to enjoy all of our broadcasts. First are the major headlines. February 25th elections threatened integrity of Electoral Act, says presidency. Old narrow note, CBN compliance to Supreme Court order, victory for poor masses. Matawali. Nigeria not in support of cannabis legislation for non-medical use. NAFDAC. And also, Ogun police rescue kidnapped journalist in Lagos. On sports, Guinea-Bissau storm Abuja next week Tuesday for Super Eagles clash for AFCON. Now the news in detail. The presidency has described the 25th February presidential election and National Assembly elections as the most competitive presidential election in the history of Nigeria, saying the exercise had threatened the integrity of the Electoral Act of 2022. In a statement on Monday in Abuja, the president's spokesman, Malam Garba Shehu, said though there were some delays and technical faults in the process, the election had consolidated democracy in Nigeria. He thanked former Ambassador Matt Green and Gianni Carson, as well as other foreign observers for their concerns over the logistics of the general election in the country. He also lauded their work as observers on the National Democratic Institute/International Republican Institute election observation missions in the country during the election. Shehu said it is worth setting their comments in context. No one has disputed the result of the election except the candidate that fell short. And to the currency swap. Governor Bello Mohammed Matawali of Zamfara State has described the recent Supreme Court verdict on old currency notes and subsequent compliance by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, as a victory for all Nigerians. The governor said that the court judgment, which culminated in a reversal of the earlier Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, rush implementation of the cashless policy, is for the good of the country's microeconomy and for the well-being of the common man. This was contained in a press statement issued on Newsmen in Gusau, the state capital, by the special advisor to the governor, Comrade Zailani Bappa. Those who accuse us of going to court for the sake of presidential and National Assembly elections, even as Nigerians groan under the policy implementation, are now proven wrong, as we did not relent until we succeeded in achieving our demand to its logical conclusion. All Nigerians can now have a sigh of relief on this matter, and we expect more cash to be in circulation to ease our people's pains, while those who were unable to replace their old narrow notes will discuss new notes will no longer lose their hard-earned money, he said. He commended President Muhammadu Buhari for distancing his administration from any attempt to disrespect the verdict of the Supreme Court on the issue. Moving on to the next story from NAFDAC. The Director General of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration Control, NAFDAC, Professor Christiana Adeyeye, has said Nigeria would not support the trend of legalization of cannabis for non-medical use, as the country lacks the financial capacity to fight cultivation, production, and illegal use of the substance. The agency has also launched the 2022 annual report of the International Narcotics Control Board, INCB. Speaking during the launch of the INCB annual report, availability supplement and precursor report for 2022 in Lagos, Adeyeye said the 2018 National Drug Use Survey revealed that the prevalence of any drug was 14.44%, or 14.3 million people using drugs between the ages of 15 and 64 years. She pointed out that it is comparatively high compared with the one of 2016 global annual prevalence of 5.6% among the adult population. She said the challenges arising from drug supply and consumption were not restricted to people who use drugs. She said the report also revealed that cannabis is the most commonly used drug. An estimated 10.8% of the population, or 10.6 million people, had used cannabis in the past year. Going on to Lagos State from within Ogun. Operatives of Ogun State Police Command have rescued a journalist, Odueye Olusegun, who some gunmen kidnapped at the Mobalufon area of Ijebu-Ode. The journalist was kidnapped on Thursday and rescued on Saturday, 3 days after in Lagos. The police public relations officer in the state, SP Abimbola Oyeyemi, discloses in a statement on Monday as regards this story. Oyeyemi said the abductors called the victim's wife through his phone the following morning and demanded 30 million naira for his release. The statement read, upon the report, Commissioner of Police Frank Mba directed the DPO Obalende Divisional Headquarters, SP Murphy Salami, whose jurisdiction the incident happened, to ensure a safe rescue of the victim. In compliance with the CP's directive, the DPO mobilizes detectives and embarked on a tactical and intelligence-based investigation on the incident that leads to the rescue of the victim. Their effort paid off when the Toyota Camry of the victim was traced to the Idimo area of Lagos, where the kidnappers were hibernating, waiting for the money to come to them before the release of the journalist. On sighting the policemen, the hoodlums engaged them in shootout, which lasted for about 45 minutes before they abandoned the car and took to their heels after sustaining various degrees of gunshot injuries. In case you're just joining, you are watching the national news from BGI TV Currents. Next to come. A 37-year-old man, Moses Abdon Edo, has been sentenced to death by hanging for killing his father, Abdon Peter Edo. Peter Edo's body and grave have not been found. Moses Edo was condemned on Monday by Akwa Ibom State High Court sitting in Entnan. The court, presided over by Justice Ezekiel Enang, held that the convict, a motorcycle rider, had confessed that he single-handedly killed his father in broad daylight on July 29, 2015 in Ikot Ukobo, in St. Imbiom local government area, and buried him beside his son's grave. Justice Enang said the convict, who is the first son of the deceased, also confessed that he pursued his father to the backyard of his old building and hit his head on the wall, where he died on the spot over a land dispute. The court held that once a confessional statement is positive, direct, and unequivocal, it is sufficient to secure conviction of the accused even without the evidence of being collaborated. Justice Enang held that by smashing the head of the father on the wall, the convict had intended to kill him. Going on to the end of the national story from BGI TV Currents this hour is a sports story. The Jutros of Guinea-Bissau will arrive at Abuja on Tuesday, March 24th for their 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier fixtures against the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Daily Post report. The Match Day 3 encounter is built for the Moshood Abiola International Stadium, Abuja on February, March 24th. According to information on the official website of the Guinea-Bissau Football Federation, the Jetros will kick-start preparations for the game on Sunday, March 19th. The players and the officials will then travel to Nigeria for the game 2 days later. The reverse fixtures will take place in Bissau on Monday, 2023, 27th day. The Super Eagles top the group with 6 points from 2 matches, while Guinea-Bissau occupy second spot with 4 points from same number of matches. That ends the national news from BGI TV Current this hour. Before we go, some major headlines. February 25th election strengthened integrity of Electoral Act, says presidency. We also brought to you ordinary notes, CBN compliance to Supreme Court order, victory for poor masses, Governor of Zamfara, Metawali. Nigeria not in support of cannabis legalization for non-medical use, NAFDAC clears out. Finally, on sport, Guinea-Bissau storm Abuja next week Tuesday for Super Eagles clash. For more updates on our YouTube handle, the handle is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. For updates of everything you need to know, kindly subscribe on the BGI TV current handle, and for advert placement of goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placements only. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. Today is another day in Nigeria. Looking forward to the governorship and state assembly election coming up on Saturday, 18th March. Let's vote wisely, for every vote counts. Let's make a better Nigeria for ourselves. Good afternoon.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.